Conor McGregor has been in the news a lot recently. Whether it's for his comments on social media or his recent actions around the world, he is in the public eye more now than ever. Today, we will discuss how Conor McGregor invited Machine Gun Kelly to his next fight. You won't want to miss this list. So what happened between the two? If you didn't already know, both Conor McGregor and Machine Gun Kelly were at the red carpet event for the very recent 2021 MTV Video Music Awards. These two were separately walking the red carpet when out of nowhere the two seemed to have a little face-off. There are photos and a few bits of footage of the argument, but it seemed like both of them were aggressive. From footage, we see McGregor throw something at Kelly, likely a drink. Neither of them were harmed, and they went on their separate ways after being separated from one another. This little scuffle was one of the highlights of the night, and was all over the internet. What did McGregor say about the scuffle? In interviews later, we saw Conor McGregor talk a little bit about what happened. He stated that nothing happened between the two, and he doesn't even know the guy. McGregor stated, "There's no beef. I don't even know the guy. I don't know him. Who is he?" This seems a little odd, as in the footage and the images, they seem to be going head to head. Maybe one of them made a comment about the other and the little scuffle went on from there. Kelly hasn't made any comments on the whole thing, as he has declined every interview from every possible source. He seems to be keeping quiet about the whole thing. Something must be up for this to happen. What did he say about the fights? Conor McGregor also made some comments about Machine Gun Kelly and his partner, Megan Fox. He stated in the same interview that it's all good. Come to the next fight. They're more than welcome. Come watch me perform anytime. I'll perform, no problem. It seems like he wants them both to appear at his next fight. Both Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox are known for being at MMA and UFC fights all the time. In fact, Megan Fox has been going for years now. McGregor commented on not knowing who Kelly was, as he seemingly only knows who Megan Fox is. Everyone can come to his fights. One other thing from this interview is that McGregor is allowing anyone to come to his fights. More specifically, he stated, "Everyone is more than welcome to come to my fights and to come to the shows." Conor McGregor draws a lot of eyes to any event he's involved in, so it's no surprise people would want to see him fight at some point. So, many celebrities come to these events to hang out and see the match itself. McGregor is known for having many celebrities around when he fights because he is just that big of a name. This invitation means that his fights are still open for anyone who is big to come down and watch. At the end of the day, Conor McGregor just wants to entertain people. He wants to fight in an arena and show everyone just what he can do. Did anything actually happen between the two? So when it comes down to it, did anything actually happen between these two? From the very small amount of footage that we have and the various images at the event, it definitely looked like something went off between these two. We know both of them at least had something to say to one another, as you can see them talking during the scuffle. We don't know exactly what happened, but something could be occurring behind the scenes. At this point, Machine Gun Kelly is known for collaborating with some big names. This can be seen in the music itself, and of course, in the music videos he puts out. This could be setting up something new for Machine Gun Kelly. Maybe a music video including him fighting McGregor or some other variation of that. This could be a huge ploy for some setup. We could be seeing some backstories play out in a large music project in the future here. Brushing off the scuffle. Well, whatever happened between the two, we know that neither of them really seemed to care. As we know already, Conor McGregor has spoken about the incident and said nothing happened between the two. He went on with his night at the MTV Video Music Awards and was even spotted with his fiancée out at dinner the next night. For Machine Gun Kelly, we know that he and Megan Fox just went on with their night at the awards and then went on to perform at Central Park the day later. With Machine Gun Kelly refusing to be interviewed about the whole thing, we know that something definitely went on, but at the end of the day, neither of the two were injured and there are seemingly no lasting effects on each of them. Next up is some more related content. McGregor has the worst pitch in NFL history. If you haven't seen it already, Conor McGregor did something newsworthy again. This time, it was pretty big and took the internet by storm. Recently, we saw Conor McGregor be invited out onto the NFL pitch before a game to throw the first pitch of the night. He lines up and throws and ends up throwing what is seen as the worst NFL celebrity pitch of all time. This was once held by 50 Cent, but now Conor McGregor takes the cake. This pitch was terrible and really funny. So many big names reacted to the pitch, and even McGregor himself had some funny things to say about it. At the end of the day, it was just for fun, and even McGregor isn't taking all too seriously. Conor McGregor's return update. Conor McGregor was recently injured in his latest fight. The fight was against Dustin Poirier, and McGregor faced a really bad leg injury. This lost him the fight and obviously left him with a bad injury that he needs to heal in order to return to the UFC. Dana White recently came out and gave an update on the whole situation. He said, "This kid needs to heal up. I don't know how fast that leg is going to recover. It's going to be all about when he can start kicking again, and more importantly, when he can start taking kicks again. That will determine when he fights again." It's looking pretty good for McGregor. His leg has healed enough for him to comfortably walk around on it, but is it fight ready? We won't know for a while, but expect an update before the end of this year. Conor McGregor on the Forbes most rich list. With the recent pitch fiasco around Conor McGregor, he has been trying to get everyone's minds off of it. Even though he knows it was all in fun and even he has been joking about it, it's probably not great to hear about it all the time. In interviews, we've seen McGregor drive the topic away, and in one interview, he mentioned his wealth. He said whilst talking about being on the Forbes richest men list, "Smoke them up and down, that Forbes I do. Get Messi over. Smoked. Chris. Smoked. Federer. Doubles. All-time most powerful. Put me in the Wrigley Hall of Fame for that rocket launch. Besides some of that nice and red brick, mahogany oak frame, Wimbledon lines in the grass, he certainly is confident about his money." And finally we have, Sean O'Malley reveals what Conor McGregor said to him. Sugar Sean O'Malley is easily one of the biggest names in MMA right now, and he has always wanted to meet Conor McGregor. He finally got his wish to come true when he met the fighter at the recent NFL game. The two were spotted talking, and only later on in the interviews did we find out what they were really talking about. O'Malley later said that Conor McGregor was very impressed with his recent performance at UFC 264, where O'Malley put on an amazing performance. O'Malley said, "One thing he did was say that my last fight was a beautiful performance." This must have been an amazing moment for Sean O'Malley, one of the biggest fighters in the world and someone you look up to, saying that you performed so well. That must have just been so cool for him. And that's the end of the video. Conor McGregor is always in the news nowadays. Anything he does is picked up by news outlets and broadcast all over the world. It's what you get when you are one of the biggest fighters and names in the world. On the bright side, at least the stories we hear about him are sometimes really funny and interesting to look at. He really does have some interesting stories all year long. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you do, let us know in the comments. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe with notifications on. Thanks for watching. Bye.